Welcome everybody. Welcome to this episode of Brookwood Bites, today featuring Marcus Clowes, Project Director for COVID-19. So Marcus, first of all, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate your time. Do you want to kick us off by introducing yourself and telling us what you're doing to support the UK in this fight against COVID-19?
Sure, by all means. As you've said, my name is Marcus Clowes, the COVID-19 Director for the Coronavirus Support Network. What the project is doing is connecting suppliers with the demands that are being created through COVID-19 and working with the Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport, the Crown Commercial Service, and then the suppliers within the supply chain, logistics and transport industry in particular, and more recently getting involved in the supply of PPE and the training for such equipment and so on, and connecting the suppliers together.
Wow. So a really important role across the UK. Brilliant. And what do you feel has been, I suppose, the most important thing for the industry during this lockdown?
The most important thing, without a doubt, is forgetting about competition and collaborating with each other to do whatever we need to do in order to achieve what we need to achieve to fight the war and win the war against coronavirus. Okay.
Good. So everyone pulling together basically as a nation, which is what we've seen outside of the industry as well, which has been great. Brilliant. I suppose a specific perspective, what measures have been put in place to help the industry cope with this kind of unprecedented times?
From the perspective of what the government's trying to do and what the Crown services are trying to do with regards to engaging with the companies, is to create a catalogue which has had the people within the industry making an application through an online form to become a supplier to government and the Crown Commercial Service, which in turn supplies to the NHS. So that's a real help in terms of being able to directly help COVID-19. With regard to the overall industry, around 50% of the country's trucks are currently parked up, and there's a lot more that we need to do with regards to getting that fleet back up and running. But that's a huge challenge right now, and a number of the institutes, including the Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport, are currently lobbying government to try and address that problem.
Okay, really good. Okay, and what's the response been like from the wider community? Have you had much turnout? Obviously, you talked then about the Chartered Institute and the database they've put together. I mean, what's it been like for you? Have people kind of all pulled together? Are they buying into this?
Definitely. Between the database of the Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport, the catalogue that the Crown Commercial Service have put together on behalf of the government, and the database from NHS Supply Chain, there's been a huge amount of offers from the industry to assist, yes, and that gives an enormous task to the Crown Commercial Service in contacting all of those companies, approving all of those companies to work, and then actually getting them actually doing the work. So that's what they're on with at the moment. My role within that is trying to sort of introduce the companies to the relevant places and trying to expedite the action that's required.
Okay, good. And so, do we think the frontline services are getting what they need now? And is the government and NHS getting the support now? And is it all flowing through as it should?
A personal opinion, I think a lot of the challenges have been really blown out of proportion by the media.
Okay.
Having said that, if you think about the huge spike in demand for PPE equipment, to use that as an example, there's no way the industry could have been ready for that. But just using an example, NHS Supply Chain has engaged Clipper Logistics to take over the warehousing and delivery of PPE equipment, which has had a real positive impact.
Yeah, good. Okay, I saw that actually in the press last week. What advice would you give to organisations, I suppose, to help them bounce back from this situation?
Again, the collaboration. We're all in this together. There are a couple of areas of the logistics and transport industry that are massively busy. Those dealing with supermarkets, those dealing with home delivery, are really pulled out
Yeah.
of the place. And then the other side of the coin is we've got 50% of the fleet parked up because retail, for example, isn't operating at the same level. So yeah, it's about, we're going to need to put our heads together and decide how we can address this, and also with hopefully with the help of the government through the lobbying that's currently taking place.
Brilliant. Marcus, so insightful. You're obviously so knowledgeable in this particular space. It's just brilliant to hear what is happening, I suppose, from the horse's mouth almost, because like you say, you hear so much in the press and you see so much now propaganda about what's not available, what is available, and it's good just to get a real sensible, honest opinion on what actually is taking place. So I really do appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
I suppose I'm asking everyone the same question here, and a bit of a personal one away from work. So
Okay.
Final question, quick fire. Outside of work, what are you doing most during this lockdown period?
Oh, that's a really good question. I've got a 12-year-old son, and when we're not in lockdown, we regularly go cycling and camp out overnight and cycle back. So
Okay.
we're doing something a little bit crazy at the moment, which is cycle for our daily exercise, arrive back to our own garden and camp there. So he's not missing out on his getting out in the fresh air, getting his exercise and getting his camping and then cooking breakfast in the garden. And so we're continuing to do that.
Brilliant. Love that, Marcus. Fantastic. Sounds great.
We're having a good time.
Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate that, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for the call.